Sometimes love isn't about hugs and words. Sometimes love is silent, painful, and it can cost you your entire life. This is the story of Luz Maria Rios, a mother who spent 32 years in prison for a crime she didn't commit. But she stayed silent because the real killer was her own son. It was 1981 in El Paso, Texas. Luz was a single mother, hardworking, quiet. She had two sons, Miguel and Javier. They weren't rich, but they had each other. Miguel, the younger one, had always been troubled. He fell in with the wrong crowd, drugs, fights, street crime. But Luz never gave up on him. She believed he'd grow out of it. That one day he'd come back to the boy she once held in her arms. But one night, everything changed. A man was found dead in a parking lot, shot twice. No cameras, no fingerprints. Just one thing. A witness saw a car leaving the scene. A car registered to Luz. Police arrived at her home early in the morning. They questioned her. She was confused, tired, and scared. But then, she saw Miguel's face. Pale, sweating, eyes wide with panic. She didn't ask him. She didn't need to. She knew. When the officers asked, "Where were you last night?" she paused. Just a second. That 1 second changed everything. They arrested her. She was charged with second-degree murder. She kept saying, "There's been a mistake. I didn't kill anyone." But in court, the evidence was thin. And silence speaks louder than proof. Her public defender begged her to speak more, to name names, to give an alibi. But Luz refused. She said nothing. Not because she was guilty, but because the truth would destroy her son's life. She was found guilty, sentenced to 40 years. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just whispered, "Tell Miguel to be better than this." And then she disappeared into the system. For 32 years, Luz lived behind cold walls. She worked in the kitchen. She kept to herself. She never told her story. Even when other inmates asked why someone like her, a mother, kind and soft-spoken, was in for murder, she just smiled and changed the subject. Her family stopped visiting after a while. Letters became rare. And slowly, she faded from their lives. But not from Miguel's. He carried the guilt. Every single day. He got clean, started working, became a father, but he never forgot. His mother had taken the fall for him, and it was eating him alive. Then one day, he walked into a police station, 32 years after the murder, and said, "I need to confess something." Detectives couldn't believe it at first, but the story matched. Every detail, the night, the weapon, the getaway. All of it lined up. And so, after more than 3 decades, the truth came out. Luz was released at the age of 76. She walked out of prison with no anger, no lawsuit, no press conference. When asked by a reporter, "Why didn't you ever tell the truth?" she simply said, "Because he was my son. And I loved him more than I loved my own freedom." Today, Luz lives in a small home in southern Texas. She tends a garden. She reads books. And sometimes, Miguel visits with his children. He brings them flowers. They sit in silence. And that silence is full of pain and forgiveness. Luz lost 32 years, but she never lost who she was. A mother, a protector, a quiet warrior. Not every hero wears a cape. Some wear prison uniforms and carry secrets they'll never speak of. If this story touched you, subscribe to Truth in Shadows. Because sometimes, love lives in silence, and truth hides where no one dares to look.